Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, also published on Rumble. And at the moment on Rumble, I'm just catching up with XCOM 2 episodes until it comes along with the things on YouTube. Prey is on par, and again, I will try my best given that it's like festivity stuff. I'm not sure if I can give... I cannot give a prediction during this week in terms of a gaming series here, but I will do my best here. And of course, I also have the backlogs on the posts here on the blogger thing, and I post everything also on Patreon for extra support. So, some news here, interesting. I don't know why this make the news. If you are somebody that does some DIY work here and there, not only in PC but for example in electricity, you know that using hair dryers, not to melt cables but to heat the plastic around it just enough so you can bend them to a certain degree, especially these kind of cables that have braided cables or even like more thicker cables, or very tied up cables, or a lot of cables bundled together. You know that this is usually done. Here they are even like those special heaters that you put to when you tie up two cables, and then you have those little plastic protection. Use those heaters to wrap around that connection there. But yeah, the thing here, you can paint it as you want. The problem here, I maintain my position here because I'm not an engineer, but in terms of logics and sense wise, this connector is the main issue here. Again, I think this was a botched design. It is still a botched design. They can change all the names they want, and they now do the newer 12V 2+2x6 cable interface, which is an updated version of the connection itself. But the only thing they did was tweak here on the sense cables, how they called it, the force sense cables. They just shorten a little bit the pin size. So for all intents and purposes, if the connection is not well secured, it doesn't provide the full power, so there is no like more resistance in the connection. But then again, we come around to the same kind of it's starting to get like bullshit crap here from the manufacturers here. The connection is not good. How the hell did you maintain doing the revision of the design? Did you maintain the same kind of connection, which gives you some high probability of you not manage to connect the cable itself properly? I don't remember seeing this ever in PCI 8-pin stuff, or even in motherboard connection. Motherboard, it can be a little bit tricky if you don't know what you're doing, but still you know that it is fully seated when you hear that click. You know that it's not going to wiggle around, it's not going to come out, and it's not going to explode or melt the connection there. I don't remember. Doesn't mean that never happened, unless there is like a defective cable by itself. But in terms of connection, that you know that the cable is connected when you hear that click in the entirety of the motherboard, and even in afterwards with the connections of PCI 8. And you never saw any issues even with the 3090s that use free cables. Even now in the 7900 XTX, when you overclock it to the full, you never saw any issues even with free cables coming around. And because that design is foolproof, it still works, even though it's a mess in terms of how it visually is represented, like 3.8 PCI cables, cables. It's a mess in terms of visually if you look at it, but it's functional. I don't know why they just I understand the situation of trying to put everything together in one cable. Then again, they went about it in the completely wrong way. You just you're just putting the same kind of power or more that before was distributed between 3 cables. Supposedly each PCI 8 it's 150 give or take, so for 50 you can put it, you want to put the same power delivery from 4 cables into one, and you just butchered it with smaller pins, which is, again, I don't see how it's how this will survive this connection. They have to at least at the same kind of size of pins like in the motherboard, because the motherboard still, again, it's we go circle around. Not only the physical connection is shit on this connection in this connector here on the 12 volt power, plus the fact that you have the high power delivery delivered in only 12 pins, 600 watts. The connectors, the physical connectors, are small. It will always increase the resistance of the electricity put through those connections there, the electrical connectors, and with that the heat will always be there present, unless there you have like I don't know, 450 or lower kind of a thing there, but still that there is that thing that the more power, even through spike powers, you're just going to melt the plastic eventually, or it's going to degrade quicker, because the stress of the materials is greater than distributing them through 3 separate cables, 3 different connections. It's something, or they'll increase the connection size, and it is what it is. And I think it's in terms of physical connection, I think there needs to be like double in terms of the size there. And if you can deliver the same 600 watt powers, I think it's better. I think they need to do a proper revision, because then if you've been following up my stories covering this issue here, even with angled powers, especially with the cable mod stuff, the tolerances are very thin in terms of how this connector can be handled. You saw the workarounds, the bend tolerances. You need to have like 3.5 centimeters, so 35 millimeters or so, before you start to put together the cable, bending the cable and all that stuff. And then if you want to bend the cable, you have to heat the cable. The amount of things that you need to do to install a single cable in a freaking GPU, it's too much to bear, especially people that are not they are not well versed in this DIY market, like first timers, or people that have like 1 or 2 years and didn't assemble that much PCs, and they might not know very well how to go about this. They just might get overwhelmed and just get out of this and just buy pre-made PCs, which if they have like a 4090, something like that, they will have the same issues. Now the 4090s we saw a lot, but I think it's a single case, or a very rare case with North Bridge Fix or something. I don't know, the YouTube channel that received like 16 GPUs, 4090s with their boards broken, the PCB. Yeah, but I think that's a single case. The person bought a lot of them through eBay or something like that they have like those cracks, and try to see if the repair is cheap enough for them to resell them even as used or refurbished. But yeah, this connector of the 12 power, it was one of the reasons when I managed to get around to build my PC with the budget that I had. I just completely avoided the 4090, mainly because it's more expensive. But even still, if I could cut down certain things that I could have at the time when I built the PC, yeah, I didn't want to deal with this hassle of every time I turn the PC on, or every like hour and a half with that worry being if the cable is properly connected, if the cable is now it's going to heat up a little bit more than it should be, all that jazz. I just went for a 7900 XTX who doesn't have this connection. I thought a little bit on getting the 4080, even though in terms of kind of future proofing, let's say, is not that good, but yeah, it has the same connection. I don't want to even think about the connection itself, so I just bought the 7900 XTX. Has basically the same performance and in terms of rasterization, which is my main thing here for games. But yeah, hopefully, and we had and all the guys, I forget, the Intel is also on that SIG, the consortium that managed to get around to do this connector here. I just hope these guys just scrap this one and start over with I don't know, with a better quality, more things similar to the PCI 8 lanes. Just keep that kind of thing, which is a well-proven power delivery cables that go throughout years. In terms of, I have the same before I move out of the country. I had the same PSU with this kind of connections, PCI 8, that were used in GPUs. I don't know, almost 10 years. It never failed me. It was very expensive at the time. It was a very, I think it was a Kunamy Master UCP or UPC or something like that, 1000 watts, something like that, something on those lines. And it lasted me for until I dropped it. I think it still works. I'm not sure if the people that I sell to, but I assume that it still works pretty well. But yeah, then you have this kind of connections that they last 6 months because the physical connection is not the best, and the fact that it has to deliver 600 watts of power in just one cable, which has smaller physical connections. Instead of distributing that for 4 cables, the fact that you're just combining that much power delivery in one cable, which is smaller, in this case, it's basically the same size as a PCI 8, power delivery cable there. But yeah, similarly, you can use hair dryers. But there are proper heaters that can be used there. But if you don't have that, an air dryer will do the work there, in bending basically any cable, because it's not going to melt the cable itself or the plastic. Even maybe the air dryer is safer than those usual heaters, because the heaters can really go for high temperatures there. But yeah, now for gaming, seemingly Ubisoft managed to get around and not get a lot of stuff stolen. We don't know yet. They had a security breach, and supposedly almost 1 terabyte of data was targeted in that breach. Seemingly, according to this VX Underground, December 20th, non-threat actor compromised Ubisoft individual had access for roughly 48 hours until the administration realized something was off and access was revoked. They aimed to exfiltrate roughly 900 gigabytes of data but lost access. Again, I'm not a hacker. I don't know what kind of processes you need to do to try to extract almost 1 terabyte of data. 1 terabyte of data is a lot, even just transferring through high-speed internet. Just by transferring disks to disks will take a little bit of time. I don't know if you have kind of compiled in the servers, and you have to, I assume you have to, if you want to download this kind of data, you have to do it very slowly, so it doesn't usually trigger any warnings inside the network managers and all that stuff, I suppose. But yeah, supposedly the guy didn't manage to get a lot. Allegedly there are some Beyond Good and Evil 2 screenshots, which is another lost game in delay fest there. There was a trailer only since the announcement. I don't even remember when this game was announced. 2018, 19, something like that. Yeah, it's on the cold deep freeze of delay fest. I don't know. I don't even know if it is being developed. I really stopped seeing stuff from Beyond Good and Evil 2. Very, very ambitious game, at least from the concept, from the guy that it was game director there. But I think the guy was fired, or he went out, something like that. I don't remember well. So, but yeah, similarly, there are some screenshots probably from internal development, stuff like that. But yeah, it's unlike Seasonic games. They seem to, at least at the moment from the news, they didn't get anything from this 1 terabyte. Basically, it might get some images here and there probably. But yeah, continuing here with the Insomniac games, that this is not good, especially mostly around personal data of the employees that don't. Yeah, it's. And like banks and addresses, a lot of shit that was personal data from the employees that is not good. That is not good. You call some. There is not even ethical hacking. It's just, but okay. Yeah, similarly, Ubisoft managed to dodge a bullet on this one. But yeah, only time will tell if something is leaked or not. But similarly, everything seems okay-ish there. Except for game development. The game development there is not good. But I think Avatar, the game of Avatar seems pretty decent. However, the rest of the games, not so much. But yeah, let's go through. There's been a lot of modding around FSR3 after it was released to the public, the source code of the FSR3 kind of thing there. There's been a lot of modding. And there is a mod that supposedly is you can enable FSR3, so the fake frames, to any FSR2 game, and supposedly supports both AMD and NVIDIA. This guy, yeah, look, FZ paid mods had been leaked, updated. Yeah, yeah, it was a paid mod. Yeah, that's another conversation that I wanted to almost attention there, but yeah. This guy whose work again we already saw on Starfield, Dead Space 3, okay, Alan Wake 2, August Legacy, and The Last of Us Part 1. I think he managed to do some modding stuff there and some FSR kind of things there in these games to improve the gameplay there. But yeah, similarly, you can mod in already FSR2 supported games. From what I understood, there is a lot of steps here, but yeah, the compatibility and the steps that you need to take, they can be a little bit tricky. I don't know. I don't mess around with this one because at this moment I prefer. But yeah, I prefer not to touch FSR2. Maybe in the future, but at this moment, no. But then again, this guy similarly has a Patreon page, and yeah, has a Patreon page for you to support this kind of work, because it's not an easy work trying to get around and tweak around these kind of things. But yeah, supposedly now you can also enable FSR3, even though it might not be officially supported from the driver's side, but it's basically you can mod things there. If a game has already have FSR2, you can basically mod FSR3 there. We got also some news from Fallout London, the Total Conversion mod. This got me interested since it's been like at least 3 years. We got some more news here. It's been delayed. They delayed on purpose. So they didn't launch around August, September, mainly because they wanted to respect the launch of the Starfield game, which it is what it is. And they come around now by the fact that several situations here, I think they're going to be managing to April 2024, specifically 20th of April, 23rd of April of 2024. St. George Day, I don't know if there is some meaning for the developers there, but yeah, we got a lot of things announced here regarding large playable space as where is it? A lot of people contributed to this and some volunteers also. We got 15 bonus of London. Again, I don't know London, but I suppose it's a lot of them. 7 unique settlements. Okay, this is it. The total playable area in Fallout London is equivalent to the base games, Commonwealth, and the Far Harbor DLC combined. Again, this is very huge. Got a lot of weapons, a lot of more things for the soundtracks, a lot of quests there. 7 companions, 900, sorry, 90k, so 1900,000 recorded voice lines, revamped, and a lot of stuff here. But yeah, very interesting. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if it is that good. I might be compelled to at least buy Fallout 4 to get around and go for this one. I like pretty much a Fallout lore, but yeah, this Fallout 4 was not excellent, and Fallout 76, I'm not going to spend money on that one. You just can squeeze money out of other persons, not me. Thank you very much. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. We got an interview, kind of a preview here for the Stalker 2. I don't remember when it comes out. I don't think that we have like a definitive launch date. But yeah, this is coming. Sorry, I'm just scrolling here from PC World, the German version. And this is a translation of this. I'm not going through all the article here, but you got basically a preview here for the person who played out. And yeah, similarly, they're making some comparisons since like difficulty like Dark Souls. Again, Stalker games are they tend to be more realistic in terms of shooters. So if you get shot in the leg, you just limp and you might get killed. Sometimes there is like one-shot kills. You get killed by one shot if it is like, for example, a net shot. Usually the physics tend to be as realistic as possible given the context of the game, but yeah, and with this Unreal Engine 5, one of the issues that I had when I played Stalker, like the first one, like long time ago, even at the time the graphics were a little bit janky there, and in terms of performance and optimization were not the best, but still very enjoyable. The atmosphere they created, and the fact that basically you just usually wake up or something like that, and you just don't remember very well who you are, and you don't have. They give you general directions, a little bit like Dark Souls in the sense that you don't have like a pointer to go through. You just need to start exploring and talk to people, and then you will start filling out a little bit on the tabs of the menus of the objectives and information, and basically that's how things roll out. I assume it's going to be the same way. Again, even the weapon physics seems pretty kind of realistic to a certain point. But yeah, some guns are more forgiving than others because usually they are more easy to fire and more ease of use in terms of real life. But yeah, a lot of stuff coming up here, even with the story on this Stalker 2 preview. And lastly, we got Star Citizen's new Legatus ship packs, 48k in terms of dollars, which is a lot. Regardless, for a game, it's always a lot. Unless it comes with shares involved, it's too much. I don't know, this game is still on alpha or beta, I don't know. It's been almost 10 years with this kind of a thing. I just was kind of excited when I even forget his name, the Robert Space Industry. I was kind of excited when it was kind of announced, but then again, it's playable. They're playable. It's basically vertical slices of the game. They are playable. I don't think the game itself is assembled together per se. But yeah, there are a lot of parts that are playable, like the ship stuff. I think even the trading part, the combat part, zero-G stuff. I've seen videos here and there. I don't follow up too much on this game because it's not a full game. It's made more than $500 million already. Cost at least $500 million to in terms of development cost. It is behemoth of a game. But yeah, when they come with a full launch, like you just pay X amount of whatever it costs, and you get supposedly the full experience. We will see. Until then, from time to time you see these kind of things for just it's basically this it's just ships, $48,000 worth of ships where you can buy at least a good car. But yeah, it is what it is, and I'm just going to wrap up some gaming deals. Again, Epic Games is doing a lot of daily offerings here, I think until the end of the year. At the moment of the recording of this video, Ghostwire Tokyo, the base game, is available. Again, I advise you to come here every day, just in case I miss one day on the gaming news stuff. I think the previous one was Fallout 3, the GOTY edition, Game of the Year edition. But yeah, tomorrow will be another one. The time of publishing around 5 hours or so. But then again, I tell you every time, just come around here every day. At least until the end of the year, for sure they will have a new game here. I already claimed the Ghostwire Tokyo. I'm going to try out to see if it's worth it. But yeah, on Steam we got huge amounts of deals. I'm just going to cover some of them. From the 20, I got basically 100 and something deals in my wish list, so I will try to do my best here. We got Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, 85% off. Wolfenstein, at least the first one, the New Order, which is the one that I did, one of the first gameplay series that I did on my channel. We got also the 2-pack, which is the New Order and the Old Blood, which is basically the prequel before this new setting here. And you got also the Alt History Collection. Yeah, depending on if you have any of these games or not. This one, yeah, one of the bundles, okay, is already in my library. But yeah, you got the New Colossus also. If you want to buy it single, it's also 85% off. Digital Deluxe Edition, I think it's okay. But yeah, you can get some good deals here. Plus, if you don't have Doom and want to buy also Wolfenstein 2, there is a bundle there. So they are pretty cheap and they are pretty decent games here. We got also XCOM. Again, it's a little bit finicky because I have everything on my library, but it seems that it's only the base games that are on the deal here. Because, for example, War of the Chosen, which is like the major expansion here, especially in terms of modding, you have to have this for the better mods. Yeah, this XCOM Enemy Within, it's pretty good also from the first game. XCOM 2, again, I'm doing my gameplay series there, and Camera Squad seems pretty decent. It's next after the XCOM. I will do XCOM Camera Squad, which is basically a sequel, kind of spiritual sequel. But yeah, the deals, like the packs here, doesn't seem to have any deal associated with it, but at least the base game, it has its deals. I'll leave it to your criteria there. We got also the Tomb Raider franchise, 50, no, this is not GOTY. Yeah, it's at least around 80%, yeah, 80%, and then you got the, oh my god, GOTY edition? Yeah, I bought all things from just, yeah, the Japanese, this is free. Yeah, the GOTY edition, it's the best one. I think it's around 70-something%. Pretty good game here. We got also Rise of the Tomb Raider already. Yeah, I need to buy these packs here when I have time until the end of 4th of January, because I want to do with all of this. Plus the Baba Yaga seemed to be a pretty decent expansion there. I need to buy the 20-year celebration there. We got also Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Again, the definitive edition is the way to go. I don't think there is even another way to buy this game except with a definitive edition. I think it goes around $9 this. So yeah, we got Control Ultimate Edition, costs around $10. Again, it's one of those that is in my back burner. I need to do Alan Wake, Control, then Alan Wake 2. Yeah, I think so. Alan Wake, Control, and Alan Wake 2. I think that's the order that you need to play them. We got Wasteland 2 Director's Cut. Again, you can buy either of those. The Director's Cut is the base game with like enhanced features there in terms of graphic wise. We got Wasteland 3 also. The one that I usually recommend is the Colorado edition, as it brings all the DLC in terms of content. There are also like deluxe extras and expansion pack, but with the main meat of this is the Colorado edition. We got Voidbusters, pretty good game, especially on a sale. I think it's worth your money. Again, I made a series on this one. I think it's worthwhile if you like roguelike games, and this has the twist of being first-person shooter. The humor seems pretty interesting and pretty good at least for me. But yeah, I think it's a good buy. I've got also Stray, one of those that I will try throughout the day. I like this kind of games because it has meow meows. But yeah, 34% off. And then we got more bundles here from Annapurna for sure. They've been publishing a lot of good games. And finally, we got Shardpunk. Shardpunk got the demo here, which is always good, and is 25% off. So, but it's $10. It's a pixel art style, turn-based strategy game. You got squad management. I think the overall thing is there is like an invasion of rodents and pest plagues and all that stuff and mutant stuff, and you just need to escape the city per se. And the squad management is done by the end of the day. You have to set up camp and manage your squad and abilities and all that jazz. But yeah, seems pretty interesting. Very positive reviews. I'm really interested in this kind of games. It's one of those things that I really like this kind of games, like XCOM and the such there. And yeah, it's been a long one. But I'm going to wrap up for today with a plug on the Patreon for extra support. Again, extra support is mainly for storage at this moment, for me to be able to have backups for the stuff that I do for my private clients, and of course some extra space for the videos I do for the channel here. And yeah, with all that said, guys, hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.